Every system that has ever failed has one thing in common: too many rules, not too few. The tax code is 4 million words. The Federal Regulatory Register adds tens of thousands of pages every year. The Constitution has been interpreted, reinterpreted, and argued over for 250 years by the most educated legal minds in the country, and the arguments have not stopped. More rules do not produce more clarity. They produce more gaps, more interpretation, more exploit surfaces. The America 2.0 kernel does not add to that stack. It replaces it. 3 laws. Strict hierarchy. No interpretation required at collision points. 3 is not an aesthetic choice. It is a structural one. The Asimov model, borrowed from robotics, applied here to governance, works because of 2 properties no larger rule set can guarantee. First, minimalism. Every law that exists creates a boundary between itself and the next law. Boundaries are gaps. Gaps are exploit surfaces. The fewer the laws, the fewer the gaps. 3 laws have 2 boundaries between them. 100 laws have 99. Second, strict hierarchy. When 2 laws conflict, the higher law wins. Always. No debate. No committee. No interpretation required. The hierarchy resolves the collision before it becomes a crisis. This is the property that 250 years of American governance has never had. When one amendment conflicts with another, the courts argue for decades. When Law 1 conflicts with Law 2, the answer is immediate. Law 1 wins. Law 1. Sovereign consent. No system may govern an individual without their consent, and no majority, however large, may remove the rights protected under this law. Power flows upward from individuals. It cannot be voted back down. This is the load-bearing law. Everything traces back here. It is why the guiding star's definition of liberty begins with each person's equal claim. Not the majority's claim. Not the state's claim. Each person's. Law 1 encodes that principle as the highest operating rule in the system. It cannot be overridden by Law 2 or Law 3. It cannot be suspended by emergency. It cannot be amended by popular vote. It is the floor beneath every other floor. Law 1 governs what can be built on top of it. The kernel beneath it is not a covenant you sign. It is the minimum architecture for coexistence. It has 2 parts. The 3 laws govern how the system resolves conflicts. The mosaic community boundary conditions govern what no community may ever do. Both are addressed before this layer is complete. The exploit it closes, the tyranny of the majority. Democracy without Law 1 is a system where 51% can legally strip the rights of 49%. That is not liberty. Law 2. The commons. No individual or community may prevent another from existing within the neutral public domain, so long as Law 1 is not violated. Where Law 2 is silent, Law 3 governs. This law does one specific job. It protects shared space. The street, the air, the information commons, the marketplace. No individual sandbox extends into territory that belongs to everyone. No community's covenant applies to people who never agreed to it. The commons is neutral ground. It belongs to no one, which means it belongs to everyone equally. The exploit it closes, using liberty as justification for erasure. Law 2 prevents any actor from claiming their freedom, includes the right to eliminate someone else's presence in shared space. Your sandbox ends where the commons begins. Law 3. Community. Communities may establish their own internal covenant, their own terms of service, including values, education, and customs. Not every individual is compatible with a high-density, rapidly shifting, pluralistic society. Law 3 gives them a different option. A community built around a specific religion, a political philosophy, a way of life. All of them valid under the kernel, provided 2 conditions hold. Every member retains an unconditional right of exit, and Laws 1 and 2 remain intact. The full architecture of how mosaic communities work alongside each other is the next video in this series. What matters here is the boundary Law 3 draws. Communities are free to be radically different. None of them are permitted to trap their members or override the laws above them. The 3 laws only function as a system when their hierarchy is honored. A single example demonstrates why. A community establishes a covenant that restricts the speech of its members. Law 3 permits this. Communities set their own terms. but a member decides to leave and is prevented from doing so. Law 1 activates. Sovereign consent requires that governance be voluntary. The right of exit is non-negotiable. Law 1 overrides Law 3. The community's covenant cannot be enforced against someone who no longer consents to it. No court required. No interpretation required. The hierarchy resolved it. That is the architecture working. 3 laws. Not because the problems are simple, because the hierarchy must be clear. Every additional law is a negotiation point. Every negotiation point is an exploit surface. The system does not need more laws. It needs laws that cannot be argued around. Sovereign consent first. Shared space second. Community covenant third. In that order. Always. I am the system architect. The 3 laws are the kernel's operating rules. They are set. Next, the mosaic community architecture that runs on top of them. Why one set of rules cannot govern 330 million people who fundamentally disagree on how life should be lived, and how the mosaic gives them a different option.